Good morning, everybody. My name is Kent Wong, and it is my pleasure to be here at the Stanley A. Milner Public Library. Such a fantastic facility to be performing in, and it really is a privilege for me to be here during the opening week of this incredible venue. I thought it would be a great idea this morning to actually start today's show by teaching everybody a magic trick. So all I need you to do is this. Follow along with me. Take both hands, stick them straight out in the air just like this. Extend your fingers, close your fingers, extend your fingers, close your fingers, and extend them one more time, keeping them extended. Now all you have to do is rotate your hands so your thumbs point towards the floor, just like that. Bring one hand over the other, bring your palms together and lock your fingers in place, just like I'm doing. You got that? Perfect. Now wiggle your right thumb. It's going to feel weird. Wiggle your left pinky, wiggle your right pinky, and now wiggle your left thumb. Yeah, you can't change your mind, although you're at home. I can actually see you, okay? So what you need to do now is, again, wiggle your left thumb, wiggle your right pinky, your left pinky, and your right thumb. Now when I say go, all you need to do is rotate your hands so your thumbs point towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, rotate your hands so your thumbs point towards the don't hurt yourselves. I'm going to teach all of you how to do this so that you can actually perform this at home with just a little bit of practice, okay? So again, hands out front, thumbs extended, rotate your hands so your thumbs point towards the floor. Bring one hand over the other, palms together, and lock your fingers in place. That's perfect. Now, all this stuff about wiggling your thumbs and your pinkies, that's to distract people. It's called misdirection. It's a key principle of magic. Now, remember when I said that you can't change your mind? Yeah, that's a second key principle in magic. It's called cheating. That's right. Yeah, because when I brought my hand back, I did not bring my hand back this way. Instead, I took my hand, rotated all the way over, so my thumb still points towards the floor. I brought it back underneath, and suddenly the impossible became possible. Now, knowing how to do the trick is one thing. Being able to do it is something different. So let's follow all along now, okay? Everybody, hands out in front, thumbs to the floor, one hand over the other, palms together, and lock your fingers in place, right? Now, your top hand is going to be your pointing hand. Your bottom hand is going to freeze in place. It's not going to move at all. So with your top hand, point to somebody and go, that's absolutely perfect. Great, you got that really good. Now turn your hand all the way over so your thumb still points towards the floor. It's going to feel really weird. Bring your hand underneath, and suddenly the impossible becomes possible. Did you guys get that? So a little bit of practice, a little bit of misdirection, a little bit of cheating, and you can have a whole lot of fun with magic. Now, one thing I should tell everybody is that everything that you're seeing in today's show, I learned from books in the public library. And so I am teaching some of these to you today because these tricks are actually public knowledge as soon as the books hit the public library. I'm going to be performing some things, and we're going to be teaching a few tricks at all. Now, one of the things that looks like magic but isn't is actually something that's been around for a long time. It's called origami. Origami is the Japanese art of paper folding. Now, this used to be much easier to do with the old paper money that we had because it was much easier to fold. The new money actually is a little bit harder to fold. You have to crease it a little bit more. With origami, you're supposed to be able to fold the paper, and it's supposed to start taking on different shapes. So like a bird or a plane or a duck or something like that, right? I've never been really good at origami. Because no matter how much I fold the paper, it always turns out to be the same shape. Now, sometimes it'll look a little bit different, but it's always the same shape. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I thought what I would do is I would actually create a new form of origami. It's called Magigami, right? And so again, you just fold the paper like this, fold it up, just like I did before, and if you reverse the process, right, it comes right back to normal, just like this. And again, that is my version of origami. I hope you like that. Yeah, just like that. If you have a $5 bill at home, one of these plastic ones, give it a shot. And if it happens to actually turn into 100, the one tip I have for you, spend it real quick. Okay, okay. So now, as I promised, I am going to be teaching you a few magic tricks. Today, one of the coolest magic tricks that I can think of teaching is actually with nothing fancier than a Sharpie. You can also use a pencil, a crayon, a regular Bic pen or something like that, whatever you have at home, right? And all you do is this. On the count of 3, it's going to happen. 1, 2, 3. It comes right back from the pocket. Do you guys want to learn how to do that trick? Do you? Yeah? All right. All right. Now, this is actually a really easy magic trick to do. It will take a little bit of practice, but what you do is you take the pen and you hold it in your right hand between your thumb and your pointer finger, just like I'm doing there, okay? The pen is going to pivot inside the backside of that hand so that nobody sees it, just like that, okay? So it's going to pivot like that. Now, what makes the pen pivot? This finger, the middle finger of this hand, is going to push against the pen, and it's going to pop it right into the backside of the wrist. So if you do that, you can actually see what it looks like, just like that. Now, if you practice this, it will get faster and faster, right, until it actually starts to fool even you as you look in the mirror. If you want to make this go a little bit faster yet, what you do, at the time when you are pushing it in, this hand is going to pivot a little bit as this finger does a little bit of pointing. So it's going to look like that. See how that finger just pointed and this wrist just turned in? So it looks like that. So I usually do this on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Now, you're almost done here, but you're kind of stuck because although you can show this hand empty, you can't show this hand empty because it's hiding the pen. So what we need to do is we need to be able to get rid of the pen that's in this hand somehow, right? The easiest thing to do is to make it come back. That's actually a general rule of magic. If you make something vanish, you always make it reappear, because otherwise the human mind is going to keep asking, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? So if I make it vanish, 1, 2, 3, right? I'll make it come back from my pocket just by pretending to pull it out from there. That is the trick of the vanishing and reappearing pen. I hope you guys like that. Now, a lot of people ask me, they say, Kent, what was the very first trick that you ever learnt in magic? And the very first trick that I ever learnt in magic was actually a card trick. I want to show it to you, a card trick. Now, when a magician says he's going to show you a card trick, instead of pulling out a deck of cards, he pulls out a little wallet like I just did here, and from that wallet, he pulls out 3 playing cards. Do you think these are regular cards, or do you think they're trick cards? They're trick cards, that's right. So now the backs, they look normal, but at the front, that's where the trick comes in. You see, the front of this card here, it's got a big red diamond. You never see a big red diamond on a regular deck of cards, no. Over here, you've got another big red diamond, right? Over here, you've got a big blue diamond. Now, again, you never see a big blue diamond like this on a regular deck of cards. That's why they're trick cards, right? Now, I was about, 6 or 7 years old when an old magician showed me this card trick for the very first time. He said, Kent, all you have to do is guess where the big blue diamond is. But every time you take a guess, you have to bet $1. Now, that's gambling. Gambling's bad. Don't gamble, okay? You know what's worse than gambling, though? Cheating. Because when he was explaining the rules to me, I'm sure he took that big blue diamond, right, and he snuck it to the bottom of the pack. He didn't think I saw him, but I did. So I took $1 really fast. I slapped it down on the table, and I said, the blue diamond's on the bottom. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I saw you put it there. You cheated. I said, I'm sorry, but you owe me $1, right? I said, well, wait a minute. If the blue diamond's not on the bottom, it must still be on the top. He said, I'm sorry, but you owe me $2. I said, wait a minute. If the blue diamond's not on bottom and it's not on top, it must be in the middle. He said, I'm sorry, but you owe me $3. I said, wait a minute. You just showed me the bottom card, the top card, and the middle card. They're all red diamonds. You don't have a blue diamond in there. You're cheating. He said, I'm sorry, but you owe me $4. I said, well, wait a minute. If the blue diamond's on bottom, that means it can't be on top. He said, I'm sorry, but you owe me $5. I said, if the blue diamond's on bottom and on top, it can't be in the middle. He said, I'm sorry, but you owe me $6. $6, just like that. But I was catching on. I said, you just showed me 3 red cards. You showed me 3 blue cards. You must have more than 3 cards. That's how you're doing this. He said, no, 1, 2, 3. So that's $7 you owe me. $7. I was like 7 years old, and I owed $7 in about a minute and a half. That's how dangerous it is to gamble. But this guy, he said, I'm going to give you a chance to get your money back. He said, there is the red diamond. He said, there is the blue diamond. He said, if you tell me what this last card is, you owe me nothing. Now, some of you are going to think that it's red. Some of you think it's going to be blue. That's okay. I thought it was blue. I put the dollar down on the table, took my chances, said it was blue. He looked at the card. He looked at me, said, Kent, you're never going to learn. You owe me $14. And to this day, I still can't do this trick. But you know what? I've never gambled again, so I guess that works. But there is a really great trick that I want to actually show you. And if you like it, I'll teach it to you as well. Now, whenever I am teaching magic or performing magic, I love doing things that I can actually, where I can actually just use things from around the house. Right? It makes sense because then I don't have to go to the magic stores and buy stuff. I don't have to wait for the Amazon delivery guy to arrive. And speaking of Amazon, you know what the most magical words have been in my house for the last 6 months? Add to cart. That's right, yeah. I push that magic button and all of a sudden 3 days later something shows up at my doorstep. I can't even remember what I bought. But getting back to what we were doing. A regular piece of Kleenex, tissue paper. I'm going to rip the tissue. It's going to look like it's being ripped. It's going to sound like it's being ripped. If you were here with me right now, you could actually feel the ripped pieces of tissue paper, just like this. Now, I'm using tissue paper, but if you're super rich, you can use toilet paper. That's right. Just like this, I crumple it up into a little ball. Just like that. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to take that little ball, and I'm going to grab that little pen that I was using, use it as a magic wand, give it a little wave, and right before your very eyes, you performed an incredible piece of magic. Do you guys want to learn how to do that magic trick? Yeah? Give me a thumbs up if you want to learn how to do that magic. Fantastic. Okay. The secret to this trick, it's actually going to take a little bit of practice, but it's actually very easy to do. The secret to this trick is you actually use 2 pieces of Kleenex. Okay? So, 1 piece of Kleenex is going to be crumpled up into a little ball. This little ball of Kleenex is going to be held in the last 3 fingers of this hand. And it's going to gently push it into the palm of this hand. You're going to turn your hand around so that nobody knows it's there. This is called palming. It's a very important, important move in this trick. It's also very important to make sure that when you are palming an object, to make sure that your hand is held naturally. No, I'm just kidding. The best way to make sure that your hand is held naturally is if you're holding something else, just like that. I mean, doesn't that look natural? To me, that looks really, really natural. Now, I'm actually going to rip this second piece of tissue. It's going to look like it's ripping. It's actually feeling like it's ripping because I am actually ripping it. It doesn't matter how many pieces you rip it into. Now you're going to crumple those ripped pieces into a second ball of tissue. So now over here, you have the ripped ball of tissue, and in your finger palm, you have the unripped ball of tissue. As you are crumpling this ripped ball into a second little ball, this thumb does something sneaky. It comes in underneath, and it slowly and gently slides the 2 balls together so it looks like one, just like that. So over here, I have the unripped ball, and on this side, I have the ripped ball. Now, all I do is I turn my hand over to get them to switch places. This hand is going to come back, take both balls away as I show this hand empty, and then I take just the unripped ball away as this hand takes the ripped ball and puts it back in finger palm. Remember I said that finger palming was very important in this trick? Yeah, that's why. So now you have the unripped ball here, the ripped ball in finger palm. You're almost done the trick, okay? But now you're kind of stuck. Just like with a pen trick, you're stuck. Because although you can show this hand empty, you can't show this hand empty because it's got the ripped ball in it. How do you get rid of the ripped ball? Well, wouldn't it be nice if you actually were just able to go to your pocket or something like that and leave it there? Yeah, but it would look really suspicious if you just did that, right? So what you're going to need to do is have a reason to go to your pocket to get rid of the ball. The reason I use to get my pen or magic wand. So I just come over here, I leave the ripped ball in the case, come back out with the pen or the magic wand, give it a little wave just like this, and then right before everybody's eyes, you performed an incredible piece of magic. Did you guys like that? Give me a thumbs up if you like that. Good stuff. One of my favorite tricks, and all you have to do is practice it up a little bit with some tissue paper at home, and then you can be fooling friends and family everywhere. Now, there is an aspect of magic called optical illusion, and I want to show you what an optical illusion actually is. For those of you who are not familiar with what an optical illusion is, that's where your eyes see one thing and your brain tells you something else. It's enough that it could drive you absolutely crazy. The library here has tons of books on optical illusions, and you can also see some on the internet now. Remember, there's this image that you see once in a while on Facebook where you look at the picture and sometimes it looks like a duck, and then other times it looks like a bunny. Bunny, duck, bunny, duck. It can drive you crazy. It really can. But again, that's where your eyes see one thing and your brain tells you something else. An optical illusion, fairly simple. We're going to start with reality. Reality is simply this: short, medium, and long. 3 pieces of rope. I've taped the ends of the rope so they don't fray, just like that. Now, if I take the ends of the rope up, and I count to 3, 1, 2, 3, boop! They all look the same length. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with that either. But this is to explain what an optical illusion is. You see, the ends all look the same length, but it's the middle that would give it away, because that is what's different. With an optical illusion, you always take a look at what is different, okay? Now, again, the reality, we started with short, medium, and long. This can make it look like an optical illusion, but it's not quite perfect because you have to hide the ends. For that illusion to actually work better, you would have to make the short one longer, the long one shorter, so that all 3 are pretty much the same length. Now we have 1 medium rope, 2 medium ropes, 3 medium ropes. Now, remember what I just said before, that whenever you are watching an optical illusion, you always take a look for what is different. Now, if you'll notice, these ropes are not exactly the same length, are they? There's still one that's a little bit shorter than the others. That's what gives it away, that this is not actually reality, it's just an optical illusion. So what you have to do is you always have to keep your eyes open and watch for the thing that's different. In this case, don't take your eyes off the short rope. Whatever you see, whatever you feel, whatever you do, never, ever, ever take your eyes off that short rope. Huh. I guess I took my eyes off the short rope. Okay, again, now remember what the second thing is, when you are watching an optical illusion using rope magic, or using ropes, you always keep your eyes on the ends of the ropes, because if anything sneaky is going to happen, it's going to happen with the ends of the ropes. For instance, if I'm going to like tie a shoelace or something like that, I have to tie it on from the ends of the ropes. If I'm going to slide something on the rope, like on a necklace or something like that, right, I have to slide it on from the ends of the rope. So whatever you see, whatever you feel, whatever you do, never, ever, ever take your eyes off the ends of that rope. Optical illusions are hard. But you know what? Remember what I said, never take your eyes off the ends of the rope. The end is going to come towards the middle. The middle is going to come towards the end. Just like that. The middle towards the end towards the middle, and right before your very eyes, what's going to happen? All I do is I give it a little rub. Those ends are going to melt back on. Just like magic. Now, we didn't start that way. We didn't start with 1 long rope. We started with 3. But again, it wasn't 1, 2, 3 medium ropes either. If you will remember, the reality that we started with was something a little bit different. We started with short, medium, and long. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is an optical illusion using a few key principles in magic just to keep it a little bit interesting. Now, I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of time recently playing board games at home with my family. My wife and kids, we love board games. Some of our favorite board games are things like Sorry, or Snakes and Ladders, and Monopoly. We play all, these are the games where you roll the dice and you move your pieces across the board, right? I stopped playing recently these board games with my family. You know why? I could never win. Yeah, no matter what game I played, no matter when I played, I could never win. And I only found out, there's a book here on how dice are made, and I finally found out why I could never win. You know why? They're using trick dice. Yeah, they're using trick dice. I couldn't believe it. But I wanted to show you, because I don't want anybody to ever trick you if you are playing a board game. Now, if I brought the little dice with me, you'd never be able to see what's happening. So I made something bigger just so you could see it, right? And pretend that this is a dice, okay? You know how the dice have spots on them? Yeah. What a lot of people don't know is that when you're making dice, there's a standard rule. The opposite side of the dice, so the back side of that dice, if you add the spots together, it always has to add up to 7. So if I have 1 on this side, I have to have 6 on this side, because that adds up to 7, okay? So yeah, 6 on that side, 1 on that side. That's the rule of 7, just like that. And a lot of people don't know that this is actually a rule. I only found out myself. So 1 on that side, 6 on that side for 7. Now if you have 3 on that side, then you have to have 4 on that side, because 3 and 4 is 7, okay? Yeah, so yeah, you look confused. Okay, so if there's 1 on that side, you have to have 6 on that side, because it has to add up to 7. Okay, yeah, so 1 there, 6 there. If you have 3 there, then you have to have 4 there, because 3 and 4 is 7. You can't have 4 and 1, because 4 and 1 would be 5. Okay, and again, so yeah, if you have 1 on that side, you have to have 6 on that side. If you have 6 on that side, you can't have 3 on that side, because that would be 9. Okay, yeah. So if you have 3 on that side, you can't have 6 on that side, because that would be 9. Right? Yeah, and that would actually not work. That would actually break the rule of 7. I finally started to realize that my family was using trick dice when they were playing with me, and that's why I could never win. So I went up to my kids and I said, "You guys are cheating. That's why I can't win." And they said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "Dad, maybe it's time for you to go to bed, because you know why? You're seeing spots. You're seeing spots." Yeah. Anyways, my name is Kent Wong. I hope you've enjoyed today's performance. I've had a ton of fun sharing some time with you today. And please, come down, check out this brand new, fantastic library. Everything is sparkling brand new. You're going to have a lot of fun. And look for the magic books, because they're all here. All right? Have a great day.